Hey there, crab lovers. Did you know Americans devour over 40 million pounds of king crab every year? Ever wonder where those massive, spiky legs on your plate come from? How does a wild sea monster end up in a processing factory? Let's dive into the gritty, hidden world of king crab, and trust me, it's wilder than you think. The king crab industry is a beast of its own, centered in the icy waters off Alaska, particularly around the Bering Sea. These crabs, some weighing up to 24 pounds with leg spans hitting 5 feet, aren't just caught. They're processed in factories that hum with raw energy. Historically, king crab fishing kicked off in the U.S. in the 1000s, 920s, but it exploded after World War II when canning tech made it a household name. Today, places like Dutch Harbor, Alaska churn out millions of pounds annually. Picture this: conveyor belts loaded with wriggling crabs, workers in neon gear cracking shells. It's a scene straight out of a sci-fi flick. What's the wildest job you've ever seen? Let's talk science for a sec. King crabs, Paralithos campsticaticus, built like tanks, spiky exoskeletons, claws that can crush bone. Research from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, shows they thrive in the Bering Sea's frigid depths, growing slowly over 7 to 10 years to reach harvest size. That's why sustainable quotas matter. Overfishing in the ADS nearly wiped them out. Now, processing factories sort and toss back undersized crabs, balancing nature and profit. Ever cracked open a crab leg and wondered how old it was? Economically, this is big money. The Alaska king crab fishery raked in $135 million in 2022 per the Alaska Department of Fish and Game. Each crab can fetch $50 at the dock, ballooning to $150 by the time it hits a restaurant table in Seattle or New York. Processing factories are the heartbeat of this hustle, employing hundreds, running 24/7 during the October to January season. Compare that to beef. A cow might net a rancher $1,500, but it's nowhere near as labor-intensive per pound. King crab's rarity and the sheer grind of the processing factory make it a luxury worth every penny. What's the priciest seafood you've splurged on? I talked to Big Mike, a 20-year veteran at a Kodiak Island processing factory. First day I slipped on crab guts and nearly quit, he laughs, cracking a leg with a flick of his wrist. Now it's in my blood. His story's not unique. Workers endure 16-hour shifts in sub-zero temps, hands numb from icy water. Mike says the payoff's sweet. One season, and I paid off my truck. These folks don't just process crabs, they live the chaos. Ever worked a job that tough? The process itself is a marvel. Crabs hit the factory floor alive, straight from boats like the Northwestern Yep, the deadliest catch kind. They're sorted by size, then blasted through hydraulic splitters that crack shells with a satisfying snap. Scientific American notes these machines handle 1,000 pounds an hour, efficiency at its peak. Next, they're boiled, packed, and shipped, some landing in your local Costco within days. It's brutal, fast, and oddly mesmerizing. What's the most satisfying food prep you've watched? But why does this matter to you? Beyond the plate, king crab fuels jobs in coastal towns. A 2023 NOAA report pegs Alaska's seafood industry at 60,000 jobs. Processing factories is the backbone. Compare that to shrimp farming in Louisiana, which leans heavier on automation. Alaska's hands-on approach keeps communities alive. Plus, those crab shells, ground into fertilizer for Midwest farms, a full circle bonus. Next time you're at a processing factory video on YouTube, think, how does your dinner connect to all this? Experts weigh in too. Dr. Sarah Klein, a marine biologist at the University of Alaska, says, king crab's a survivor adapting to climate shifts we're just starting to understand. Her research shows warming waters could shrink habitats, pushing factories to adapt. It's a race against nature, and the stakes are high. How do you think climate change hits your favorite foods? So here's the wrap. From stormy seas to the processing factory, king crab's journey is a wild ride. Gritty workers, big bucks, and a taste Americans crave. What's your take? Would you brave a factory shift for a crab feast? Drop a comment, share this with your seafood squad, and let's keep unveiling the unknown together.
Welcome back, Trending Farm. South Korea's beef industry processes over 800,000 cattle annually, with processes operating under government regulations. But what really happens inside? Hidden reports expose cruel practices, raising ethical and safety concerns. Are these processing factories as humane as they claim? Watch as we uncover the reality behind Korea's factories. Would you still trust your meat from this processing factory? South Korea's livestock industry produces over 300,000 tons of beef annually, with Hanwoo beef accounting for nearly 35% of domestic consumption. Despite its premium status, Hanwoo struggles against imported beef, which makes up over 60% of the market, primarily from the US, 50%, Australia, 31%, and Canada, 10%. The government enforces HACCP, hazard analysis and critical control points, in every processing factory. Yet reports indicate only 70% of processes meet full compliance. Compared to the US, Europe, and Japan, where animal welfare laws mandate CCTV monitoring and stricter humane process methods, South Korea faces criticism for lax oversight and inconsistent enforcement in its meat industry. Inside a processing factory, the beef production process follows a structured sequence designed for efficiency and high output. Every day, a large-scale facility handles 300 to 800 cattle, guiding them through a system of holding pens, stunning chambers, mechanical conveyors, and automated disassembly lines. The process is highly mechanized, with some factories operating at speeds of 50 to 80 cattle per hour, significantly faster than Japan's smaller scale facilities, which average 30 to 40 per hour. To render cattle unconscious before processing, over 80% of Korean factories use electrical stunning, while others rely on captive bolt devices, a method commonly used in the US and Europe. However, reports indicate that improper stunning occurs in up to 10% of cases, raising concerns about unnecessary suffering. With pressure to maximize efficiency, some workers process multiple animals simultaneously, increasing risks of handling errors, hygiene lapses, and non-compliance with humane treatment standards. Ethical concerns in the beef industry have sparked global debate, with reports exposing mistreatment inside processing factories. In South Korea, hidden camera investigations have revealed instances where animals experience improper handling, with some showing signs of distress due to ineffective stunning methods. Similar issues have surfaced worldwide. In the United States and Europe, investigations have uncovered violations, including improper stunning and excessive stress due to high-speed production. Beyond animal welfare, workers also face significant psychological strain. Studies suggest that employees in high-intensity facilities experience emotional desensitization, anxiety, and PTSD-like symptoms, fueling broader ethical debates. These issues continue to challenge the industry, prompting discussions on regulatory reforms and alternative production methods. South Korea enforces HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points, and the Livestock Products Sanitary Control Act to regulate each processing factory, ensuring food safety and humane treatment. However, enforcement remains inconsistent. Government inspections occur regularly, but reports indicate that only 70% of facilities fully comply with welfare guidelines. Loopholes, such as insufficient CCTV monitoring and rushed inspections, allow violations to go unchecked. Public scandals have exposed troubling practices. In 2021, an undercover investigation revealed improper stunning in multiple processing factories, sparking outrage and demands for reform. Activists and journalists have documented overcrowded holding areas, excessive stress on animals, and unsanitary conditions, pushing for stricter oversight. Government officials acknowledge gaps in enforcement, but argue that compliance is improving. However, animal rights groups continue to criticize the system, urging reforms such as mandatory real-time CCTV monitoring, increased penalties for violations, and reduced processing speeds to ensure humane handling. Consumers drive the demand for factory-farmed meat, supporting each processing factory that produces over 300,000 tons of beef annually in South Korea. While imported beef accounts for 60% of consumption, surveys show that 45% of Korean consumers are now interested in ethically sourced meat, and plant-based alternatives have grown by 35% since 2020. Ethical butchers advocate for higher welfare farming, while lab-grown meat research receives $10 million in government funding to develop sustainable options. Some farmers argue that improving regulations, such as stricter stunning requirements and real-time monitoring, can reform the industry without eliminating meat production. As consumers, we must demand transparency, ethical sourcing, and stronger regulations. Whether through responsible purchasing, plant-based diets, or policy changes, the future of food is in our hands. 16. The truth is out there. Do we choose to see it?
Snow crabs are large crustaceans that prefer to live on soft, muddy bottoms at depths between 65 and 6,600 ft. Large crabs can grow up to 6.5 feet long and weigh up to 33 kg. The Bristol Bay and Kodiak Bay area is home to the largest snow crab fishery in North America. Snow crab fishing season in Alaska is usually in winter and early spring, starting from January to April. Fishermen will prepare crab fishing boats ranging in size from a few dozen feet to several hundred feet, usually made of steel. The hull of a crab fishing boat usually has a sturdy shape with a high side, and the bottom of the boat is often flat. Crab fishing boats are often equipped with powerful diesel engines to move and pull nets. Fishermen will be equipped with GPS navigation systems, radio communication systems, and radar to be able to fish in more remote areas. Crab traps are made of metal or plastic with various sizes, rectangular or trapezoidal. The sailor will make sure the net is not torn, frayed, or damaged. The net is made of rope or cable. Prepare bait, often using dead fish, animal carcasses, or fishy-smelling foods to attract crabs. Bait is placed in mesh bags or compartments to attract concentrated crabs. The captain will cast the net in the opposite direction of the wind and current so that the net is spread evenly on the seabed. Slowly lower the net to the seabed, making sure it is spread evenly. After releasing the trap for 12 to 24 hours, fishermen will begin the process of pulling the net to harvest crabs. The captain will first check and ensure that the crane, winch, ropes and other equipment are working properly. At the same time, he will also prepare the crab removal area where the crabs will be removed from the nets and sorted. Before starting to pull the net, team members will be specifically informed about their tasks and positions during this process. Each person will have a unique role, from controlling the equipment to removing crabs from the net. When everything is ready, the captain will turn on the winch to slowly pull the net up from the seabed. The speed of pulling the net needs to be carefully adjusted to ensure that the crabs do not fall out of the net. This process requires attention and dexterity to protect the crabs and ensure they do not get hurt. Once the net has been pulled out of the water, team members will check to see if there are crabs in the net. If there is, they will start removing the crabs from the net. The crabs are then placed in buckets or baskets for temporary storage. Next, the group members will use specialized measuring equipment to select crabs. Crabs that reach the standard size will be kept, while crabs that are too small or not big enough will be released back into the sea. This process helps ensure that crab populations can grow sustainably and not decline. Finally, the crab boxes are carefully preserved and prepared for transportation. Please like and share this video to promote freedom and humanity, like little crabs returning to the sea. In your opinion, how will fishermen preserve crabs on the boat before bringing them to shore for processing? Crabs will be placed in bags or baskets. It is then preserved by freezing or salting. People will use cranes and forklifts to bring baskets of produce to the processing factory. Are you still following the journey of big crabs? Please comment 1 to let us know. When arriving at the factory, the first step is to evaluate the quality of the crab. Damaged or poor quality crabs will be removed immediately, leaving only the best crabs. The remaining animals are then graded according to their size before further processing of the crabs. They will follow a thorough washing process. This step includes cleaning them from dirty sand and any dirt. Other foreign substances may adhere to their shells. Next up are specialized sorting machines, which effectively separate the crab's legs and claws from its body, streamlining the processing line. After the crabs are sorted, they are ready to cook. Steam or bathe the crabs in hot water to ensure that they are cooked perfectly. After cooking, the crab legs undergo another round of washing to remove remaining dirt and bacteria. After washing the cooked crab legs and cooling them in a cold water bath or cooling tunnel, this not only enhances the flavor but also extends the shelf life. Crab legs can be packaged as is or further processed. The meat is separated from the crab legs using an automatic sorting machine and placed into plastic containers ready for freezing. The crab meat, along with other parts of the crab, undergo freezing and shaping before being stored, kept in warehouse. Big crab is a type of seafood with high nutritional value, providing many vitamins, minerals and protein necessary for the body. They are low in calories and fat, making them a good choice for people who are watching their weight or have heart disease. Big crab meat can be processed into many delicious and attractive dishes: steamed, grilled, hot pot, roasted, salad. Live large crabs should be stored in the refrigerator at a temperature of 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. Boiled or steamed large crabs can be stored in the refrigerator at a temperature of 0 to 4 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 days. Large crabs can be frozen for long-term storage. Crab from sea to market involves a meticulous and precise process from quality checking to cooking, cleaning, and packaging. Every step is important to ensure that these dishes reach consumers in their freshest and most delicious state. If you then enjoy dishes made from crab meat, remember this fascinating journey. Don't forget to leave your opinion about the process of catching and processing big crabs for everyone to know. Thank you very much. The lobster fishing industry in Australia has produced extremely impressive numbers. In 2022, lobster production in Australia will reach 19,200 tons, worth $229 million USD. The most popular Northwest lobster price in Australia ranges from 13.59 USD pound to 27.18 USD pound to 27.18 USD pound. According to Australian statistics, in 2021, the lobster industry will generate about 936 million USD in revenue and about 6,200 jobs for people in this country. Right now, we will learn more about how people here catch lobsters. Australian lobster, also known as Northwest lobster, belongs to the Nephropidae family and is famous for its large size and delicious taste. Usually 0.98 to 1.15 feet long, can be up to 1.64 feet long. Found offshore at depths of a few dozen to several hundred feet in northwestern Australia. From Euclid to Indonesia, their abundance in the deep sea off the Kimberley, Pilbara and Gascoyne coasts, especially near Port Hedland, made them popular and expensive. Lobster catching boats typically range from 50 to 300 feet in length and are equipped with large hydraulic systems weighing up to 500 pounds. A hydraulic system for releasing and lifting the trap is also designed to withstand the rigors of icy waters. The main lobster fishing season lasts from May to October every year. Before going to sea, fishermen often set their own sailing schedules and must follow instructions on each trip. Normally, fishing fleets stay offshore for 3 to 4 weeks. You know, lobsters usually lie at depths of 600 to 1,600 feet. Based on this information, fishermen mark the depth of each trap with buoys attached to the rope. Fishermen use box traps that consist of a steel frame covered with nylon mesh. Each trap weighs 300 to 400 pounds, and a vessel can carry 150 to 3,300 traps. They often use herring or cod bait placed inside the trap. The trap is then lowered to the seabed where the lobsters reside. Fishermen release the trap into the sea slowly, ensuring the trap does not hit the seabed or other obstacles strongly, helping to protect the trap and keep the bait from falling out. After the trap has been dropped to the seabed, the fisherman ties the remaining end of the rope to a marking buoy. This buoy will float on the water surface, helping fishermen easily identify the location of the trap when returning to harvest. By performing these steps carefully and accurately, fishermen can ensure that traps are placed correctly and lobsters can be harvested effectively. Fishermen often release traps in a straight line to make it easier to collect them. Lobster traps are considered less harmful than other mobile devices because they stay in one place and do not affect large areas of the seabed after being caught. Are you anxiously waiting for the results of these traps? Like the video and join us in admiring the results of the sailing session in the next few minutes of the video. After 1 to 2 days on the seabed, the trap is lifted to the surface thanks to the hydraulic system. About 3 to 4 fishermen open the trap. At this time, fishermen will begin to classify their catch. Any lobster that does not meet the specified size and sex requirements will be culled. Normally, lobsters meet standards with carapace length of about 0.82 feet, tail length of about 0.39 feet. The female lobsters are released back into the sea to lay their eggs and maintain the species population. Standard lobsters have their claws bundled to limit damage during storage and transportation to shore. They are placed in plastic boxes and iced for preservation. Traps after harvest are cleaned and stowed for the next release. How many lobsters do you predict this fishing boat will trap today? Leave a comment below the video and we will provide the answer for you. In addition to lobster, king crab and snow crab are also caught a lot by Australian fishermen. They live in deep waters along the southern and southwestern coast of Australia. These crabs are known for their large size and excellent meat quality, making them very popular. Similar to lobsters, to catch king crabs, fishermen use large vessels ranging from a few dozen to several hundred feet in length, equipped with powerful hydraulic systems designed to manage traps, weighing up to 700 pounds. These systems must be durable enough to handle the harsh conditions of icy waters during the busiest winter fishing season, which runs from December to January. The fishing process begins with the fishermen preparing for the trip by planning a schedule and following strict regulations. They stayed offshore for about 4 weeks, setting traps at a depth of about 2,000 feet. To do this, they first attach bait to each trap and then use a rope to gently lower the trap to the seabed, taking care to avoid unexpected impacts. Each trap is marked with a buoy to indicate its location. After a few days, the fishermen return to pick up the trap. They use hydraulics to lift the traps off the seabed and then carefully open them to sort the catch. Only king crabs that meet specific size and sex requirements are kept, and those that do not meet the standards are released back into the sea. The crabs are raised in seawater tanks with an aeration system to ensure they remain alive and fresh. They are especially careful to handle the crabs gently, as even one dead crab can secrete toxins that ruin the entire catch. The king crab fishery, along with snow crab and Australian lobster, supports a significant local industry worth about $400 million each year. The industry faces both physical challenges and strict regulations to ensure sustainable operations and protect these precious resources.